Hey guys, this is Elfo, and this is an overviews match I had against Pokemonmaster76, and it turned out to be a pretty decent game, but it's not the best. And right before I got this game, what I usually do is I try to get a game every Tuesday so I can post a video a week. And before this, it usually takes me 1 or 2 tries, sometimes 3. But this time it took me 6 tries because all the ones before, either they were horrible games for one reason or another, or that my opponent disconnected. So this is the first game I got. But yep, this is using one of my OU teams. And if you noticed from the team preview, the other person brought Ninetales, which obviously means that he has Sun. So that's cool. So I lead with my Heatran because I expect him to lead with his Ninetales, and I can pretty much wall and get up my Stealth Rocks. But it turns out that he leads with his Heatran, and I just kind of had a mind's, like, I just completely forgot that Heatran gets Earth Power because mine doesn't have it. So I just leave him in and to get up my Stealth Rocks. But either way, even if I had known it, I know I can take one because of max HP, max special defense, and it's not stab despite it being 4 times effective. It's not going to kill me. So, and I get up my Stealth Rocks, which is really nice against a Sun team where most Pokemon are, you know, Fire types, which are weak to Stealth Rocks. So, I bring in my, my Gastron Kid, which can get this guy out from many angles, and he decides to go for a Sunny Day, which is kind of weird, because obviously he has a Ninetales, which, you know, has permanent Sun. Now, I can see that because maybe, if he loses the Weather War, he has a way of getting up Sun. But, you know, it's still unorthodox. So, I went for Skull to break his, air balloon, which is good, because I hate Etrian's air balloons. It's always nice to get that air balloon popped. And then I go for Earthquake as he brings in his, Shaman. And I go into my Celebi to take whatever he wants to do, and I end up taking a Seed Flare, and I take a pretty good chunk for it. I'm not, you know, especially defensive invested, and I don't have any HP investment. And right here, I kind of make a stupid move. I go for HP Ice, it is, and I knew it wouldn't kill, but for some reason I decided that I just wanted to get that hit off, have my Celebi die, and then I have to go in and finish this guy off anyway. So pretty much, I go into my, you know, into my Staraptor, and I just, you know, he gets switch advantage, and I lose a Pokemon anyway. So really, the only thing I got from not going to this guy to Staraptor right away is some recoil damage. So that was kind of stupid. But now I bring in my Haxorus, and he on the blind switch, and he brings in his Heatran. Well, it's not a blind switch, but you know, I need to send in a Pokemon. So I go for Substitute here because it was kind of weird he brought it in because most Haxoruses have Earthquake. So I was thinking he might be scouting to see if I had it, and he might go into something like a flying type, which I don't know if he has. I think he might. Or, you know, something to resist it. So I go for Substitute just in case he did that. But, no, he doesn't. He just stays in. So the next turn I go for an Earthquake and take out this Heatran. So that's cool. There goes that guy. So, after Leftovers Recovery and some more amazing residual damage, he brings in his Gliscor. So I can't really touch this because I'm assuming it's one of those defensive Gliscors, as they almost all are. So I just switch out, expecting the Ice Fang, but it turns out he goes for Taunt, and I don't know if that means he doesn't have Ice Fang or not. But it's kind of weird he would go for Taunt when, I mean, I do have Substitute and Dragon Dance, but I mean, I don't know why you would go for that when you can just. I had no real reason to try to set up there because he can do pretty massive damage, and I can't really hurt this Gliscor. So because the Sun's not up, I think the Sun just went away, if I'm not mistaken. I go for Scald, and that does a bunch of damage to the Gliscor. And now he's forced to switch out. And I was thinking that he might just want to leave him in for fodder, and I didn't really want to overpredict and go for Earthquake because that wouldn't affect him. So I would just went for Scald as he brings in his Ninetales. It's super effective, but the Sun's up, so it doesn't do a lot. So that's I guess that's fine. I do switch out here because I'm expecting either an Energy Ball or Solar Beam, one of the two. And he shows here that he does have Solar Beam, and Heatran pretty much walls most traditional Ninetales sets unless it has Hidden Power Fighting or, you know, something like that. Maybe Hidden Power Ground, I suppose. But this one, you know, I do leave my Heatran here, just, I guess I risked it. I didn't think he probably, I guess I decided he probably didn't have hidden power fighting or anything like that would be super effective against me. So, I do just stay in and go for a roar, but he protects, which seeing protect increases the likelihood that he does not have anything to hit me with, especially seeing him go for solar beam here. But I'm expecting him to just stay in, predicting me to roar, so, he can sell me a points from the switch, and then I would just roll him back out into a random Pokemon. So I predicted him to want to stay in, so I just go for a Lava Plume, and despite I'm not, specially attack invested, that is in the sun, so that's going to do a very good chunk to this Ninetales despite the resist. So here he decides to go for it again, and I decided that I was just going to go for Roar predicting a switch. And right now I know that he has his Gliscor, he has his Ninetales, he has his Venusaur, but I couldn't remember what his last Pokemon he had was. So that's why I was really tentative. I didn't know if he had anything to, bring in that could resist that Fire Blast. That's why I went for Roar. But, yep. So let's see. I bring in my max defense Great Gastrodon to take that Earthquake from the Gliscor. Pretty good counter because I can just go for Scald this turn, and he brings in his Venusaur, which can resist that. And I was hoping for the burn, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose. So here I decided to switch out and go into my Staraptor, expecting a grass move, but I see him go for sleep powder here, and right now I was expecting that to be this Venusaur because I am scarfed. But seeing me not, I guess this Staraptor must be adamant because a Jolly Scarfer should have outsped Venusaur. I'm assuming that the sun gives you a +2 with Chlorophyll. I'm pretty sure it does. So now I'm supposed to go into my Gengar and just hope I can take a Seed Bomb even after +2. And here I am actually really impressed. My Gengar takes that really well. Yeah, I know it's resisted, but that is stab, that is +2, and Gengar really isn't that bulky. So he takes that really well. I'm able to live that pretty easily, and I am able to take him out with another Shadow Ball. So that's a kind of a crisis averted. Venusaur is a really big threat to any team, to any Sunny in the Sun. It's a huge threat in the Sun. That's why you should always carry, some kind of thing to counter it. I think Gengar does that pretty well. Right here, I make a kind of weird play. I decided to go for Substitute because I thought I would be able to make a sub, but I didn't. I didn't have enough HP, so that's kind of a fail. But see, my thinking was that he was going to go for Dragon Dance, and I knew that he could sweep my team, so I was hoping to get up a Substitute, and then he would go for Dragon Dance, and then I could Encore him into, Outrage or whatever. But fortunately, he just goes for Fire Punch, so it doesn't really matter. I can just go into my Haxorus, and fortunately, a Dual Chop will take out this Dragonite. The reason I have Dual Chop over Dragon Claw or Outrage is because Outrage, you can get confused, and Dragon Claw, while it's higher base damage, it's not really that much higher, and Dual Chop can, hit through subs. So that's why I have Dual Chop instead of Dragon Claw. Just kind of a personal preference. So, yeah, I just take out his Gliscor there, and seeing how well he took that, I'm guessing he probably is a little bit, defensive. But, yeah, but he didn't have Protect there, and he said actually in the chat that he does not have Protect. So, yeah, I told him he should probably change that, because, I mean, there's a reason why traditional sets are used so much, standard sets are used. It's because they're good. But he brings his Ninetales, he protects for no reason, then next turn I take him out with an Earthquake. That's going to be a good game. That was a 4-0, and, yep, it was a pretty decent battle. I would have tried to, search for, a better one, but like I said, I was having a really hard time doing that. And honestly, I told myself before this battle that if I didn't get an uploadable match this time, I would have just gone on Pokemon Online and just gotten a game on there for you guys. Because honestly, the Wi-Fi battling process is pretty lengthy. You have to find an opponent, and then that can take either a short time or a long time. Then you have to, actually get connected with them, and then just having to wait for their turns. I've run into some people who take forever to pick their turns. And it's weird, because they don't really, they're not even that good. They just take forever to, make a move. But, finally, guys, I wanted to kind of incorporate something new, which is essentially a question of the day. I have one question of the day, which is more just a personal opinion, and one actual question that I had for you guys. For the first one, which is kind of personal, what is your guys' favorite Pokemon? You know, a pretty standard question, and I'm actually kind of curious. Mine personally is Ludicolo, just because I think he looks really really funny, and I've always just had a love for him. So, yeah, what's your guys' favorite Pokemon? And finally, for the more factual question, I was curious whether Mold Breaker would hit a Pokemon. Like, if I used Earthquake against Pokemon with Air Balloon, like with my Haxorus who has Mold Breaker, would it work? And I'm just kind of curious about that. If you guys know, please tell me. But I guess that's it, guys. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.